Welcome to Versus, the best career comparison channel. Two artists, two careers, and only one winner. In this video, we dive into one of the most defining rivalries of the 90s rock scene, Nirvana versus Pearl Jam. From their early beginnings in the grunge capital of Seattle to their explosive first successes, we'll break down their journeys through groundbreaking albums, chart-topping hits, and unforgettable tours. We'll explore the awards they've earned, the impact they've made on fans worldwide, and the legacies they've left behind. Two bands, one genre, and two very different paths. Let's see how Nirvana and Pearl Jam shaped the sound of a generation. Nirvana was formed in 1987 in Aberdeen, Washington by Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic. The two met in high school and bonded over a shared love for punk rock as well as bands like the Melvins and the Pixies. After experimenting with different band names and drummers, they eventually settled on the name Nirvana and found some stability when Chad Channing joined as their drummer. Their early sound was heavily influenced by the Seattle grunge scene, blending punk rawness with heavy, distorted guitar riffs. In 1989, they released their debut album Bleach on the independent label Sub Pop. Though not a commercial success at first, it laid the foundation for their gritty, alternative sound and gained them a local following. Nirvana's turning point came in 1990 when they replaced Channing with Dave Grohl, whose dynamic drumming style solidified the classic lineup. This lineup would soon catapult Nirvana to worldwide fame with their next album. Pearl Jam formed in Seattle, Washington in 1990, emerging from the ashes of a previous band called Mother Love Bone. After the tragic death of Mother Love Bone's frontman Andrew Wood, band members Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament began writing new material. They recruited Mike McCready on lead guitar and created a demo tape that reached Eddie Vedder, a San Diego-based vocalist. Vedder famously wrote and recorded vocals for three songs, Alive, Once, and Footsteps, and impressed the band so much that they invited him to join. The group, originally calling themselves Mookie Blaylock, after the NBA player, quickly changed their name to Pearl Jam and released their debut album. Nirvana's first major success came with the release of their second studio album, Nevermind, on September 24, 1991. Though their debut album Bleach had gained underground attention, it was Nevermind that catapulted them into global fame. The breakout moment was the single Smells Like Teen Spirit, which became an unexpected hit on radio and MTV. Its raw energy and anti-establishment attitude resonated with youth culture, helping to bring grunge music and alternative rock into the mainstream. Within a few months, Nevermind knocked Michael Jackson's Dangerous off the top of the Billboard 200 chart, a symbolic shift in popular music. By early 1992, Nirvana had become the voice of a generation, with Kurt Cobain as its reluctant spokesperson. This breakthrough marked the start of their short but legendary rise. Pearl Jam's first major success came with the release of their debut album 10 in 1991. Although it had a slow start, the album gained momentum in 1992, thanks to the rise of grunge and the popularity of singles like Alive, Even Flow, and Jeremy. 10 eventually became a multi-platinum hit, propelling the band to international fame. Eddie Vedder's emotional vocals and the band's raw yet melodic sound struck a chord with audiences, making Pearl Jam one of the central figures of the Seattle grunge scene alongside Nirvana and Soundgarden. Nirvana's albums revolutionized rock music, especially Nevermind, which brought grunge into the mainstream and redefined 1990s culture. Bleach laid the raw foundation for their sound, while In Utero showcased a darker, more experimental edge. Their work influenced countless bands, reshaped alternative rock, and captured a generation's angst. With massive sales and lasting critical acclaim, Nirvana's discography remains a landmark in music history. Number 3, Bleach, 1989. Released June 15, 1989, the album sold over 2 million copies worldwide. He originally charted modestly and recharted globally after Nirvana's rise, and reached the Billboard 200 post-Nevermind, with hits like About a Girl, Love Buzz, and Negative Creep. The album is the foundation of Nirvana's sound, showcasing a heavier, raw grunge tone, and lauded for its authenticity and raw energy. He gained cult status as the starting point of one of the most important bands in rock. Its success grew retroactively, and it's now recognized as a key underground grunge release and helped Sub Pop Records rise to prominence. Number 2, In Utero, 1993. Released September 24, 1993, the album sold 15 million copies worldwide. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and topped charts in the UK, Australia, and several other countries. With hits such as Heart-Shaped Box, All Apologies, and Rape Me, the album was seen as a raw, uncompromising follow-up to Nevermind. It was produced by Steve Albini, giving it a gritty, unfiltered sound, and critically acclaimed for its emotional depth and artistic integrity. The album solidified Kurt Cobain's status as a complex, conflicted artist, and continues to influence alt-rock and punk bands to this day. Number 1. Nevermind, 1991. Released September 24th, 1991, the album sold over 30 million copies worldwide. It reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 and the top 10 in over a dozen countries. With hits such as Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, and Lithium, the album widely credited with bringing grunge to the mainstream and defining the 1990s alternative rock scene, and ranked among the greatest albums of all time by Rolling Stone, Time, NME, and more. The album was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame and cemented Nirvana's status as the voice of Generation X. Pearl Jam's albums had a massive impact on rock music, especially in the 1990s. Their debut, 10, became a grunge-era classic, blending raw emotion with powerful guitar work and selling over 13 million copies in the US alone. Follow-ups like Verses and Vitalogy continued their success, topping charts and pushing artistic boundaries. The band's refusal to conform, including battling Ticketmaster, cemented their legacy as icons of authenticity and social conscience. Number 3. Vitalogy, 1994. Released November 23, 1994. The album sold 5 million copies in the US and 8 million worldwide. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. It was the first album to be released on vinyl 2 weeks before CD, selling well in both formats. The album was known for its experimental and raw sound. Songs like Better Man became huge live staples despite not being released as a commercial single. It reflected Pearl Jam's increasing artistic independence, adding to their mystique and legacy. Number 2, Verses, 1993. Released October 18, 1993, the album sold 7 million copies in the US and 9 million worldwide. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, where it stayed for 5 weeks, and sold a record-breaking 950,000 copies in its first week at the time. The album showed the band's growth and experimentation beyond grunge. Tracks like Daughter, Go, and Elderly Woman became fan favorites. It highlighted Pearl Jam's refusal to conform to media expectations, solidifying their anti-commercial image. Number 1. 10, 1991. Released August 27, 1991. The album sold over 13 million copies in the US and 20+ million worldwide. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and spent over 250 weeks on the chart. Singles like Alive, Even Flow, and Jeremy became rock radio staples. While Jeremy won multiple MTV Video Music Awards, the album is one of the defining albums of the grunge era and cemented Pearl Jam as one of the biggest bands of the 90s, and frequently ranked among the greatest rock albums of all time. Nirvana's hits, especially Smells Like Teen Spirit, redefined rock music, propelling grunge into the mainstream. Their raw sound and emotional intensity captured a generation's angst, influencing countless artists. Tracks like Come As You Are and Lithium became anthems of the 1990s. These songs not only achieved massive chart success and multi-platinum sales, but also cemented Nirvana's legacy as a voice of cultural rebellion and authenticity. Number 3. Heart-Shaped Box, 1993. Released August 30, 1993. The song reached number 1 on Billboard Modern Rock Tracks and certified gold in the US, and reached top 10 in the UK and other countries. The album marked Nirvana's shift to a raw, less commercial sound, and the haunting music video became iconic and award-winning. He is seen as a representation of Cobain's artistic vision post-fame, and influenced countless alternative and post-grunge artists. Number 2, Come As You Are, 1992. Released March 2, 1992. The song peaked at number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100 and a top 10 hit in multiple countries. He is certified platinum in the US and UK. The song showcased the band's dynamic, loud, soft grunge formula and became a staple in rock and alternative radio. The intro riff is one of the most recognizable in rock history and frequently used in tributes to Kurt Cobain. Number 1. Smells Like Teen Spirit, 1991. Released September 10, 1991. The song sold over 10 million copies worldwide. He reached number 6 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and is certified multi-platinum in several countries. The song is often credited with launching grunge into the mainstream and dubbed the anthem for apathetic kids of Generation X. The iconic music video received massive MTV rotation, and the song frequently ranked among the greatest songs of all time by Rolling Stone, NME, and VH1. Pearl Jam's hits had a profound impact on rock music and 1990s culture. Songs like Alive, Jeremy, and Even Flow became anthems of the grunge movement, blending raw emotion with powerful storytelling. Their music tackled themes like alienation, abuse, and identity, resonating deeply with fans. These hits helped redefine alternative rock, challenge mainstream norms, and cemented Pearl Jam's legacy as one of the most influential bands of their era. Number 3, Black, 1991. Released August 27, 1991, the song reached number 3 on Billboard mainstream rock tracks and number 20 on modern rock tracks. The song was never officially released as a single due to Vedder's refusal, calling it too personal. Nevertheless, it became a huge radio hit and remains one of their most loved songs. Regularly appears on Greatest Songs of the 90s lists. It is one of the most emotional and acclaimed Pearl Jam songs, and frequently cited as one of the greatest rock ballads of all time. Number 2, Jeremy, 1992. Released August 17, 1992, the song reached number 5 on Billboard Modern Rock Tracks and certified gold in the US. He addressed teenage bullying, mental health, and school violence, and helped shape 90s alt-rock as socially aware and emotionally raw. The song's iconic, controversial music video won 4 MTV VMAs in 1993, including Video of the Year. He was banned in some outlets but became a symbol of the band's boldness. Number 1, Alive, 1991. Released July 7, 1991, the song reached number 16 on Billboard mainstream rock tracks and top 10 in the Netherlands and UK. It is one of Pearl Jam's best-selling singles globally and widely considered the band's anthem that launched them into stardom. The song was the first song written for what became Pearl Jam and defined their grunge-era sound. He is a live staple and fan favorite. Nirvana's tours redefined live rock performances in the early 90s, bringing grunge from Seattle's underground to global stages. Their raw energy, anti-establishment attitude, and emotionally charged shows captivated a disillusioned youth. The Nevermind tour cemented their mainstream breakthrough, while their Final in Utero tour revealed a darker, more introspective band. Nirvana's touring legacy influenced countless artists and helped reshape alternative rock's place in mainstream music. Number 3, Reading Festival 1992. Although it is a single event, but a sold-out Reading Festival with 500,000 in attendance. This kind of massive draw in the UK for a grunge band with just one studio album is exceptional. Its cultural and symbolic weight rivals full tours. The performance's raw intensity was later immortalized in Live at Reading 2009 live DVD, often ranked as one of the greatest live rock recordings ever. Number 2, In Utero Tour 1993-1994. While full gross figures aren't publicly tabulated, the In Utero tour featured massive festival dates like Hollywood Rock in Rio, with over 100,000 viewers and high-demand headline sets. Set design included iconic anatomical winged models and dramatic instrument destruction, reflecting the thematic edge of In Utero. This tour solidified Nirvana's reputation as fearless and uncompromising performers, and represented the band at their confrontational peak, with themes of vulnerability and power, delivered live in raw, theatrical style that influenced grunge's aesthetic and performance ethos beyond their lifespan. Number 1, Nevermind Tour, 1991-1992. Nirvana moved rapidly into stadiums such as the Paramount Theater in Seattle just weeks after Nevermind's release. The Paramount show marked their first headlining stop after Nevermind hit number 1 on the US charts in January 1992. The tour catapulted Nirvana from indie cult status to global phenomenon. The energy, rawness, and audience connection from this tour reshaped 1990s rock and inspired countless bands. Pearl Jam's tours have been pivotal in shaping their legacy, known for marathon performances, deep set lists, and a strong bond with fans. They pioneered fan-friendly ticketing to combat scalping, influencing industry practices. Their concerts often blend hits with rare tracks, creating a unique experience each night. Globally, they've drawn millions, reinforced their reputation as one of rock's premier live acts, and maintained cultural relevance across decades. Number 3, the 1994 Anti-Ticketmaster Tour. Although commercially less lucrative, this tour was pivotal in audience loyalty and ethical impact. Pearl Jam tossed aside Ticketmaster's high fees, attempting to use independent venues and cutting out traditional ticketing systems, deeply earning them respect and admiration among fans. While the effort ultimately faltered, it remains a powerful symbol of artist integrity and fan-first values in music history. Number 2, 2006 World Tour. The tour took place across arenas in North America and Europe. Pearl Jam consistently sold out major venues, with some grosses exceeding $3 million per show and high attendance levels across the board. This tour reaffirmed Pearl Jam's position as a premier live act globally, filling arenas in key markets, and demonstrated sustained popularity and ability to fill large venues internationally, reaffirming their stature nearly 2 decades into their career. Number 1, 2018 Tour. This tour grossed approximately $38 million from about 300 tickets sold across the US and international stadiums and sporting venues. Highlights include $11 million from two Seattle shows, $8 million at Wrigley Field, and $7 million at Fenway Park. Massive stadium crowds and hometown energy made these shows unforgettable for fans. The home shows in Seattle were particularly meaningful, raising over $11 million for homelessness initiatives and showcasing the band's continued community involvement. Nirvana won a Grammy Award in 1996 for Best Alternative Music Performance for MTV Unplugged in New York. The band has won 5 VMAs with wins including Best New Artist in a Video, Best Alternative Video, and Best Art Direction for Smells Like Teen Spirit. They won Favorite Heavy Metal Tosh Hard Rock Artist at the AMA in 1995. They won Best International Group at the Brit Awards in 1993. They won Best New Band, Best Album, and Best Single at the NME Awards. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2014. Nevermind and Smells Like Teen Spirit have both been preserved in the Grammy Hall of Fame for their cultural, historical, and aesthetic significance. The band is listed in Greatest Bands of All Time lists. The album Nevermind is among the top 10 albums of all time, and the song Smells Like Teen Spirit is among the greatest songs ever. Pearl Jam won 2 Grammys, one in 1996 for Best Hard Rock Performance for Spin the Black Circle, and the other in 2015 for Best Recording Package for Lightning Bolt. The band swept 4 awards at the 1993 VMAs for Jeremy: Video of the Year, Best Group Video, Best Metal Hard Rock Video, and Best Direction. Pearl Jam earned 5 AMA wins, including Favorite Pop Rock New Artist, Favorite New Heavy Metal Hard Rock Artist, and Favorite Alternative Artist. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017. Nirvana's legacy is monumental, shaping the sound and attitude of 90s rock. They brought grunge to the mainstream, with Nevermind becoming a cultural phenomenon. Kurt Cobain's raw songwriting voiced a generation's angst influencing countless bands. Their minimalist sound, anti-establishment ethos, and tragic endings cemented their mythic status. Though their career was brief, Nirvana redefined alternative music, challenged commercial norms, and remained a symbol of authenticity and rebellion in rock history. And their impact continues to resonate worldwide. Pearl Jam's legacy lies in their role as grunge pioneers who blended raw emotion with social consciousness. Rising in the early 90s, they became one of the most influential rock bands of their era, known for resisting commercial pressures and prioritizing artistic integrity. With powerful live performances, activism on issues like environmentalism and human rights, and a loyal global fan base, Pearl Jam maintained relevance for decades. Their enduring influence shaped alternative rock, inspired countless artists, and cemented them as icons of authenticity in music. While Pearl Jam may take the crown in sheer numbers, selling more albums and singles and touring extensively over the decades, Nirvana's impact cannot be measured purely in sales. In just a few short years, they redefined rock music, brought grunge to the mainstream, and inspired countless bands worldwide. Their raw sound and rebellious spirit left an imprint on the grunge rock scene and the wider music world that still resonates today. For influence and cultural legacy, Nirvana stands as the clear winner. Do you agree with the winner? And which artist careers would you like to see compared next? Write in the comments below and don't forget to like and follow. See you in the next comparison.